Today we removed the 3 eaglets from the Independence and Franklin nest. They're approximately 7 weeks of age. We were hoping we could leave them in there just a little bit longer with the parents, but one of them started to venture out on top of one of the edges of the nest, and we didn't want them to be human socialized. Keep them as wild as possible before we release them into the wild. I'll grab the wings. They may not want to do it, but he might cooperate. Okay, you want to read? You want to read, Ralph?
He's cooperating. This will work.
8:15.
8:15?
8.15? 8.15? Today we weighed them to check their weights. The weights were slightly lower than when I checked them at 5.5 weeks, but I believe that they must have had a full crop, had just eaten when I weighed them the last time. And one was 8 pounds 13, one was 6 pounds 14, and one was 8 pounds 15. So I assume that the two that were 8 pounds 15 were those 9-pounders that we weighed back when they were 5.5 weeks of age. And again, they're nearly 7 weeks right now, not quite. We also put a colored band on the right leg just to identify the 3 birds. And once we take them to the hack tower, we'll put a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service band on them. And of course, a day before we release them, we'll go up there and put a transmitter on their middle tail feather and a patagial wing marker to help identify the birds in the wild once they leave the hack tower. This is one of the females. As you can see, though, the talons are still, they're pretty substantial for a bird that's 7 weeks old.
Give me the band, please. Thank you, ma'am.
And now her keel is so much different than his was.
Oh, yeah.
She's robust.
Yeah, she's almost fat.
Mm-hmm.
I'll separate that for you. If you want me to.
It's okay. Okay.
So we're putting a color band on all the eagles for temporarily until we put the Fish and Wildlife Service bands on, and we'll put those on when we take them to the hack tower. But for now, we put a color band on so we can identify them.
You okay?
Yeah.
Where?
The 3 eaglets will be taken to the hack tower immediately over on Douglas Lake. They'll spend about 6 weeks up there, and they'll be released into the wild when they're about 13 weeks of age.
She won't let me take it off this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was clean.
Okay.
In he goes.
In he goes.
All right.
While they're up there, they're going to be acclimating to the area. They're going to be looking out the front door of their release tower, and they're going to be looking at the lake and all the things that are going on out there. Hopefully they'll be kind of imprinting on that area so that when they are released, they'll remember that general area when they're old enough to find a mate, and they return to that area to hopefully build a nest and raise their own young. Sometimes when these birds will find a mate at 4 to 5 years of age, the other mate will take them to where they first learned to fly, or the general area. So all of our birds may not return to the same area on Douglas Lake, but hopefully some will, and that's going to continue to help Tennessee recover their bald eagle population, and we'll be able to restore eagles to the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains.